Why is it important for citizens to truly understand their rights?
It's truly important for citizens to understand their rights because it will help them to know when their rights have been abused, and it will help them to know when or how to seek redress when such rights have been abused. The advice I would give anyone who is afraid to speak up is when you remain silent, the abuse would continue,
True.
and you will suffer in such silence while the abuse is going on. And more so, when you are silent, when your rights have been abused, it becomes normal to the extent that you don't see it as if your rights have been abused. But when you speak out, it will end such abuse, and it will now enlighten the person whose rights is being abused, and he can also share it with others when he sees such rights being abused, so that he can also seek redress. The right that I think that is most misunderstood in our communities is freedom of speech,
Yeah.
freedom of expression, because most of the times why such rights are being misunderstood is because of the gap that we have. Because when one expresses himself, someone that is not happy with what the person said sees that as if they have infringed on his right, so to say. But in the true sense of it, there's no any such infringement to anybody's right. Yes.
So you're like saying when a child is being scolded by the parents on something and then the child wants to like defend himself or herself is also freedom of speech. That is not a problem. Hello everyone, welcome to Safe Conversation Podcast. I'm your host Serena Yusuf, and with me here is
Solomon Bidi.
It's a privilege to have you here, sir. Can we know a little about you?
My name is Solomon Budi, and I'm a legal practitioner here in Jos, and also the Young Lawyers Forum chairman, Jos branch.
Okay, that's nice, sir. Thanks again for being here.
You're welcome.
What's one basic right every Nigerian should know they have, no matter where they are?
One of the basic rights Nigerians should know they have is right to life, which is enshrined in the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. This is a basic right that every Nigerian should know that he has.
Yeah. Okay. How can people tell when their rights are being infringed upon in everyday situations?
Um, People can tell if their rights are infringed by unfair treatment,
Yeah.
discrimination. Um, Basically, these are the two ways that people can tell that their rights have been infringed.
Okay.
Yes.
Why is it important for citizens to truly understand their rights?
It's truly important for citizens to understand their rights because it will help them to know when their rights have been abused, and it will help them to know when or how to seek redress when such rights have been abused.
Okay, thank you, sir. If someone feels their rights are being violated, what's the first step they should take?
Yeah, anyone that feels his right is being abused can seek legal redress. He can
Okay.
get a lawyer who he can uh, discuss the nature of the abuse with the lawyer, and the lawyer can advise him on the appropriate steps to take to seek redress for such an abuse.
So, who do you think are the people or organizations that are available to help when people's rights are being abused?
Yeah, we have a lot of organizations that help in the issues of rights abuse. And one of these organizations are the Human Rights Commission. We have the Public Complaint Commissions. We have even the courts, the Federal High Court or the State High Court. We have non-governmental organizations where you can seek help to get redress for any rights abuse.
What advice would you give someone who's afraid to speak up?
Well, the advice I would give anyone who is afraid to speak up is when you remain silent, the abuse would continue.
True.
and you suffer in such silence while the abuse is going on. And more so, when you're silent, when your rights are being abused, it becomes normal to the extent that you don't see it as if your rights are being abused. But when you speak out, it will end such abuse, and it will now enlighten the person whose rights is being abused, and he can also share it with others when he sees such rights being abused, so that they can also seek redress.
Okay, so there are people that like are being threatened.
Yeah.
So I think that is why some people are like scared to speak up. What do you think someone like that in that situation can do?
Yeah, we have government authorities that you can report such threats to, like the police. Whenever someone threatens you or with death or any sort of threat, you can report to the police, and you can
Okay.
get redress for such threat.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Are there free or accessible ways to get legal help?
Yeah. There are a lot of free ways to access legal help when rights are being abused.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you like tell us some free or accessible means
Yes.
that you
Like um, like I mentioned earlier, we have non-governmental organizations. They help in giving access to free legal assistance to persons whose rights are abused. Even the government, we have the legal aid. We have lawyers that do pro bono cases
yeah.
for persons whose rights are abused. So there are quite a number of organizations or agencies where you can have access to legal assistance when your rights are being abused.
Okay. What rights do you think are most misunderstood in our community?
Yeah, most the right I think that is most misunderstood in our communities is freedom of speech,
Yeah.
freedom of expression. You know, because most of the times why such rights are being misunderstood is because of the gap that we have. Because when one expresses himself, someone that is not happy with what the person said sees that as if they have infringed on his right, so to say. But in the true sense of it, there's no any such infringement to anybody's right. Yes.
So does freedom of speech
Mm.
just involve like maybe being within your and within the government, or you can actually do it in the house or something?
No, actually, freedom of speech does not mean that it should be within the government. It's just for you to express yourself anywhere at any time you find yourself. But there is a limitation to the freedom of speech.
Okay, so what are
Yes,
the limitations
yes.
now?
Where the freedom of speech, where the speech now try to impeach on another person's right, it now becomes a violation of that person's right.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're like saying when a child is being scolded by the parents on something and then the child wants to like defend himself or herself is also freedom of speech. That is not a problem.
No, no, not really. You said when the parents want to school the child. Definitely it
Yes.
means the child have done something wrong.
Okay.
That's why the parents will now want to
But what
school.
if the parents misunderstand the case?
Actually, then it means there must be an awareness.
Okay.
Yes, so that parents will understand what it means to have freedom of speech and when you are infringing on someone's right.
Yes.
Yes, so there must be an awareness so that people will be enlightened, parents will be enlightened, and the society, the community will be enlightened to know and understand when it will be said that you have of speech and when your speech will now be an infringement on someone's right.
Yeah.
Mm.
How can we make it easier for people to get help when their rights are being violated?
We can make it easier for people to get help when their rights are being infringed. Where by making awareness, because I always emphasize on awareness, because
Yeah.
I discovered that most people most of the times don't even know
Mm-hmm.
that their rights are being infringed on until someone inform them or discuss that with them. then you now seeing them recalling and now saying, oh, I didn't know that this is what is refers to as infringement of my rights. But now that you have explained it to me
Yeah.
in this manner, I now understand that my right have been infringed on. So awareness is very key, because I discovered that in most communities, rights are being infringed, and even the person that is infringing on the person's right did not even know that he's infringing on that person's right, because he sees that as if it's a normal thing to do. That's why I earlier on said that when one remains silent when his rights are being infringed, it becomes normal, and you don't even see it at some point as if your rights are being infringed. So awareness is very key to sensitize people to know when their rights are being abused and when their rights are not abused.
Yeah, I agree with that awareness because there are people that I talk to, and when I tell them they have rights, they'll be like, no, nobody has rights in Nigeria and things like that.
Sure.
So I think awareness is very important. If you could advise a leader or institution on improving rights protection, what would you say?
Mm, um, it still go back to awareness,
Yeah.
because it's very key. We can't do without awareness. Um, any leader of an organization should know that he have a task of making the people to know, to understand that they have rights, and how their rights can be said to be abused or be infringed on. And these rights are enshrined in the Constitution, as I said. If you
Mm-hmm.
look at from section 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, and 42,
Yeah.
talks about the fundamental rights of citizens,
Yeah.
of Nigerians. Awareness on a regular basis have to be made so that people should understand that. And unfortunately, most Nigerians feel as if the constitution is meant for lawyers or for legal practitioners. But no, the constitution is meant for every Nigerian. Every Nigerian can access it and see what is contained in the
Yeah.
constitution. And that would also make you to be aware of your rights in this section that I just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And I discovered that even some educated persons didn't even know about these rights.
True.
Talk more of the people in the rural area and in the communities that didn't have the opportunity to go to school. So awareness is very key for every leader that intends to take advantage of his organization to make people understand when their rights are being infringed.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you, sir.
you're welcome.
And thanks for this wonderful conversation.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to also speak.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.